Hey guys, Kris here. In this video, we are doing the range efficiency and charging test in the Volvo XC40 P8 Recharge. We've already done this test back in winter when it was cold and when it was snowy, but today it is, well, according to the car, it is 21 degrees outside today, but that is here in the sun. It's more like 16 or 18 degrees, but still, spring is finally here in Oslo. Thank you so much, the weather gods. I've been so sick and tired of this long winter, and finally we have some warm weather. So today, as I said, we're doing the range efficiency and charging test in this car. We're starting here at Circle K in Furuset. We're going north to Brumunddal to the world famous, the most beautiful wooden structure in the world, the Mjøstårnet. And then we're going back again to the starting point, 260 kilometers on a motorway with between 100 and 110 kilometers an hour speed limit. That is about, 60, 70 miles an hour. And yeah, so when we get back to this point, if we have enough charge left, we're going to calculate our theoretical range under today's conditions. And also we're going to connect to a charger, and then we're going to see what kind of charging speed we do get well under normal driving conditions. And I forgot to say, guys, we are still on winter tires because, Volvo gave me this car on winter tires. So that will be interesting. But yeah, okay, so we're just going to charge to 100% stated charge. We're currently at 95%, and then we will be on our way. We are now Oscar Mike, guys, and take a look at this beautiful, gorgeous weather. There isn't a single cloud on the sky, no matter what way you look. I mean, I can't remember the last time we had this nice weather. Okay, so let's take a look at our consumption, which is now 26.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. We have now covered a little more than 60 kilometers, and outside temperature is now 13 degrees Celsius, so a bit colder than right outside of Oslo when it was about maybe like 16 or 17 degrees. But that is to be expected while we're, at an elevation here and get a little bit north towards Hamar and Brumunddal. And we have a crosswind from the east, which is on our right side here, of about 1 meter per second. So quite calm, conditions today. Possibly the best conditions we've ever had in any range test I have done in an EV since, we started testing EVs last fall or late summer. And I just want to talk a little bit about the noise levels, the NVH levels in this car. And this is on Continental Conti Viking contact studless winter tires. It also has a staggered setup, so 235s in the fronts and 255s in the rear. But I don't know if it is the tires or the car. I'm suspecting the car is more sensitive to this coarse asphalt we have in the middle of the lane here, because if I move a little bit over and drive a little bit on the shoulder, there's much less tire noise. But when I move into the center of the lane, it is quite coarse, it is quite loud. So I mean, this car is relatively quiet, but it's very sensitive to the road surface. And we have some construction here also on Minnesundbrua today. But yeah, look at the windsock, guys. It's basically just hanging there. So yeah, and also the ocean is very, very calm. So we have a bit of construction here. I don't think that's going to affect the time or the speed, the consumption too much, because, this isn't a timed test. So, okay. So let's just get past this, and then I'll catch up with you guys when we hit our turnaround point in Brumunddal. Okay, guys, we are now at our turnaround point here right next to the Mjøstårnet, Mjøs Tower, whatever you want to call it. It is the tallest wooden structure in the world. It's basically a skyscraper made out of wood and glass. And you can see the internal structure there through the glass, which is built in wood. So that is quite cool, those wooden beams there. You can also see that they're building new construction next to the Mjøstorna. And look at this, guys. The whole thing is built in wood. This is so cool. So yeah, we'll have to do a few more range tests to keep up to date with the new construction here. I don't know if they're going to build some, you know, tall structures, or yeah, I'm guessing that it will be the height of those beams you can see internally, but we'll just have to see. Okay, so on to what this video is about. It's nice to update ourselves on new construction here in Brumunddal, but yeah. So our consumption is now 26.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which is the same as it was, and there it just went up a little bit because we're stationary, 127 kilometers. And then we can take a look at the board computer here, the trip computer. So 109 kilometers an hour in average speed, and 1 hour and 12 minutes on the road. And the temperature has now, you know, climbed to 14 degrees. We've had as cold as 9 degrees and then up to 15 degrees just, you know, since we, I last spoke to you guys. So a little bit of fluctuating temperatures, but yeah. So we're gonna get on our way southward back to Oslo and then see what the consumption ends at. We are now back here at our starting point, which is, yeah, here, Circle K Furuset. So we're going to stop right here, and then we're going to check our consumption. So first off, we arrived with 15% state to charge, and that is a huge improvement over this test when we did it, well, back in winter, because we didn't have enough, you know, juice to get back here. So 24.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers is our average consumption. So of course it has dropped because, yeah, we are now at, you know, a lower elevation than we are at, you know, the turnaround point in Brumunddal. So 24.9 and 109 kilometers an hour in average time, 2 hours and 25 minutes, 255.7 kilometers, you know, traveled according to the trip computer. So, okay, so we're going to have to find another charger that has a kilowatt readout, because these over here do not have kilowatt readouts, and the car doesn't have a kilowatt readout either. We only have you know, a kilometer per hour readout. So we're gonna drive, I think, like 10 minutes that way to Lillestrøm, towards Lillestrøm, and then find a charger, you know, a tritium charger from Circle K that has a kilowatt readout. Okay, we are now at the charger that, well, is a tritium charger, so it has a readout. The ones over at Circle K in Furuset are ABB chargers, so they do not have a readout, which is a pity that I have chosen, you know, that as a starting point. Maybe I should change the starting point, because, yeah, maybe that's an idea for another time, to change the starting point, because, yeah, it really doesn't matter if it's here or there, because I think the distance is about the same. But okay, so let's go ahead and see what happens here, if this will start, you know, without any problems. And I'm gonna, well, put the camera on that side, is a little bit better, you know, having the sun in the background instead of the, yeah. Okay, so there we go, you know, connecting with no issues at all. And let's see, climbing kind of slow, but yeah, 13% stated charge is what we have of battery state while connected. So we've been on the road for 2.5 hours, you know, normal motorway driving. And this is, you know, a testament to how, you know, sensitive or not sensitive the battery is to the ambient temperature. And the ambient temperature now is actually 18 degrees Celsius, which is actually the, you know, the warmest I've actually connected to any charger ever since I started, you know, testing EVs last fall. So, okay, we're kind of climbing slowly, but yeah, we're hitting 100 kilowatts now. This car does have, you know, a claimed peak speed of 150 kilowatts, though I have not, you know, been able to see that speed with the XC40. But it looks like we are climbing steadily, because there has been a software update which should give this car, you know, that maximum peak speed. And look at this, guys. Yes, This is fantastic, 147 kilowatts. So I'm really excited now to do my 10 to 80% state of charge charging speed and charging time test in this, because we are now hitting that, yeah, this is basically the peak speed that Volvo are claiming. They're saying 150 kilowatts, but you know, 148, that is close enough. That is within a percent or two. So I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah. Okay, so Leslie, guys, let's do a calculation of the theoretical range of this XC40 P8 under today's conditions. So if we take the net battery capacity of this car, which is 75 kilowatt hours, we divide that by the consumption today, which was 24.9, and then we subtract about 3% in heat loss. We're gonna have that, you know, under today's conditions and today's speed, we get a theoretical range of 292 kilometers, which isn't bad. We all know that, you know, the XC40 is quite a thirsty, quite an inefficient EV. It's almost as inefficient as something like, you know, my Audi e-tron, but the e-tron is bigger, it's much heavier, and that is to be expected, but it's closer to that car than you might have thought, because this is, I mean, a much smaller car, but it is tall, it's boxy, it's probably never meant to be an EV. You know, from the onset, really, you know, they made this seem a platform, yes, to be able to underpin EVs, but, you know, it not being that aerodynamic really goes to show you that this car is more about style and looks than, you know, at least from, you know, from the conception of it, than, you know, pure efficiency. But still, I mean, almost 300 kilometers. And if we compare that to the ID4 I had last week, though that was done under, you know, less milder conditions, it was colder that day, but, you know, we still had, you know, quite similar conditions. That car had a theoretical range of around 330 kilometers, and my Audi e-tron was just a little more than 300 kilometers. It's not too bad. And us getting, you know, that immediate, you know, 150 kilowatts almost while connecting to a charger is you know, very good. So I'm really excited to take this on, you know, the real world test, my Norwegian high-speed run, where we go, you know, 615 kilometers, and we have to stop to charge maybe once, twice, or 3 times, which is, you know, what is important while taking an EV out on a trip. Yes, theoretical range is, you know, what you can get from a charge is of course important for a lot of people, but, you know, taking a car on a long trip, you know, means efficiency. It means, you know, how big is the battery pack, and also how quickly can you charge. So guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about the XC40's, you know, performance today and what kind of range we got. Are you disappointed? Is it as expected? Is it good enough for you if you're considering an XC40 P8? Let me know in the comment section down below. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always guys, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.